I think an important detail to mention is that this was my first time applying. Yes. Hey y'all, it's Fazili, the one and only. I wanted to take a little moment to talk to you guys about, to y'all people, citizens, cohabitants of the planet Earth. I wanted to take a little bit of your time to talk about my experience applying for and making it into Cosplay magazine. I mean, the whole reason I'm doing this is just to give some insight and also give my perspective as, you know, a person who has melanin, which that will be relevant later on in this video. But yeah, just to give you like a brief story. So I have known about the existence of Cosplay magazine for a few years now, but I just never felt like my cosplays were at a level where I was, you know, confident enough to be like, yo, this should get published. Until September of 2020, when Cosplay magazine made a tweet that said, hey, our November issue is going to be the Magical Girls issue, so if you want to make submissions, here's the link, yada yada. And I saw the tweet and I was like, wow, wouldn't it be great if I made it into the Magical Girl issue of Cosplay magazine? And then I had a friend who DM'd me and was like, hey Fazili, I don't know if you know, but the November theme is Magical Girls, and I'm not saying you need to submit your Princess Serenity, but I am highly recommending that you do. Just if you may. And I took that as a sign from God. Okay, let me just do this. I was pretty much racing against the clock because at that point I didn't have a lot of time to find a photographer, get the photo shoot done, and complete the submission and yada yada. But I made it work. I made the submission and I got the email in mid-October saying that I was selected, and I got the thingy. I forgot the name of it, where they show you your page where you're gonna be printed, and homegirl got a 2-page spread. So I was a little bit shook, to be completely honest. So I just want to talk about some of the things that I've seen pop in every now and then in conversation, the things that I personally ran into as problems, or some tips and tricks that I think might be helpful for the next person who is thinking about applying for Cosplay magazine. The first thing being precision. Cosplay magazine has a section on their website where you can see exactly point by point, step by step, what they're looking for in their submissions. The more details you add in instructions, the less room there is for interpretation. So what I did was just read through the entire thing to know what I needed to work on and get those things done to make my submission. The second thing is popularity. When you make the submission, Cosplay magazine does ask you for your social media handles for you, your photographers, or whoever else was involved in the photo shoot of the pictures you're submitting. The main reason they do that is because we need to give credit where credit is due. I don't think you should be discouraged if you have a low following count on your social media platforms. I know a few of my friends who have lower following counts than I do get published in Cosplay magazine because they were able to what? Follow the step-by-step instructions that were given on the website. I don't know if it has an impact or not on the cover story, however, that's a disclaimer. I don't fully know the process of selection for the cover stories, but I do know that generally for submissions, they ask for your social media. That way they can give you credit within the magazine itself and when they make posts on their social media platforms, and that's why they ask you for your social media handle. Number 3, self-done photo shoots versus photo shoots done by a photographer. So it really comes down to the file size. There's a certain amount of pixelations that your pictures need to have as a minimum requirement, because self-shoots made on a cell phone will end up being different than a self-shoot done on, for example, a DSLR. Even if it's a self-done photo shoot, if you went through like some Adobe program to edit the background and add some lightning and all that jazz, it might end up looking better than a location photo shoot. What do the end results look like? Personally, the hardest part for me when it came to submitting for Cosplay Realm magazine is the pictures. So when it came time for me to look for a photographer, I only know of 2 photographers that can shoot and cosplay subjects and with my skin tone, because there are 2 photographers who have reached out to me to collab in the past, and that I know now that I can invest in them. But unfortunately they weren't available, which availability is a thing, you know. So at that point I had to compromise. It was either getting a photographer that I knew was familiar with cosplay subjects and familiar with the cosplay world, but might not be familiar or be able to deliver on, you know, shooting with my skin tone, or get a photographer who I knew would be able to work with my skin tone but wasn't necessarily familiar with cosplaying subjects. I chose option 2. One of them was a surer gamble, and luckily enough for me, one of the photographers that was recommended to me was somebody that I knew from elementary school. So when they tell you you need to be nice with everybody, like, you really don't know how it's gonna come and kick you back in the butt. That kind of worked out really well. I did have to like take some time to explain to him what I was doing, what it was for, give some reference pictures, things like that. But the pictures turned out, I mean, I did get published, so I guess the pictures turned out okay, you know. Oh my god, when you laugh at your own jokes. And I am talking about a magazine right now, but I think this is a great time to remind y'all that like privilege manifests itself in all the little things like that in the daily life. Black people are very much there in the cosplaying community. The fact that I had to sit down and think about what was I willing to compromise for this project, and I had to make these decisions over things that I don't have control over, i.e. my skin tone. And the fact that like a white cosplayer or a white passing cosplayer do not have to think about these things. Privilège, le privilège. That's how it manifests itself, y'all. It's not like I ran out of cosplayer photographers. I ran out of cosplayer photographers that I knew for a fact could work with my skin tone. I had a lot of people help me and send me some DMs and things like that, like, have you tried reaching out to this person and that person? I'm like, listen, thank you for sending me these recommendations. However, do they have any people who look like me in their current portfolios on their social media platforms? I mean, look at it this way. You want to hire somebody to make you a wedding cake, but in their portfolio they only have birthday cakes. What are you gonna do? You're more likely going to look for somebody who has wedding cakes in their cake portfolio in the pictures that they show you to advertise. N'est-ce pas? Exactement. If you look like me and you know you don't have a lot of access to photographers, or you don't have access to equipment, I would say get started right now. Even if you don't know what the themes of the photo shoots are going to be, I would say create a backlog so you don't have to find yourself like I was running and trying to look for a photographer. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. I'm going to cut off to a clip of when I went to visit my family. We are within the same social bubble, so I went to visit them last weekend, and I opened up the magazine when I was at their house, and yeah, thank y'all for watching. I hope some of these tips and tricks and insights were insightful, because that's kind of how insights work, you know. So I'll see you next time, who honestly, at the rate that I'm posting, I really don't know when that's gonna be, you know. Knowledge is power. Drink your water. Bye. So now that I am in the comfort of my family home, we can open this, you know. My mom is looking at me in the kitchen. She doesn't know what I'm opening. Yep. Une ouvrière qu'on voit pour de vrai là. Okay. Oui, j'ai acheté. C'est cher. Parce que c'est comme, mais c'est comme, c'est $20 américains, but then you have to convert it for Canadian, and then you have to pay like extra for shipping. Wow! Oh! Wow, wow! Oh! Oui! Oh, arrête! Non, mais ils ont vraiment snap! Oh mon dieu, peux-tu imaginer? Wow, Cosplay Realm magazine really said brown skin girl. Je vais juste reculer un petit peu, okay? We're gonna see my page now. Wow, 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 wow. Attends, j'ai tellement peur. J'ai tellement peur. Wait. What? Ah! Oh. Oh my god. Wow. Yo, je suis comme en avant là. Peux-tu imaginer, like, je suis en avant.
Ouais.
Wow, this is too much. This is actually too much. Wow. Arrête. Oh my god. Wow. Je suis actually... C'est tout bien. Ils ont vraiment tout mis. Yo, mais Jean-Jacques avait vraiment snap avec ses photos. Je suis désolée là. Mais il a vraiment snap. Oh mon Dieu. Look at this spread. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow. You made it.
Oh, je te dis. Oh mon Dieu, c'est tellement beau. Jesus. And like, il y a tellement... So many of these cosplayers, je les follow sur Instagram et sur Twitter. So comme novembre, comme à chaque mois, tu vois la rotation, tu vois. Parce que chaque mois, il y a un nouveau thème qui sort. Donc les gens font leurs applications et tout ça. C'est comme à chaque mois, quand le nouveau thème sort, tout le monde est comme, OK guys, I can finally tell you that I'm in the magazine. Puis ils montrent leurs photos qui sont dans le magazine. C'est comme, now I'm just like part of the rotation. Oh, c'est tellement cool, c'est tellement cool, c'est tellement cool, c'est tellement cool. Oh my gosh. Non! Let's go!
Je me disais que je connaissais celle-là.
Mon Dieu, regarde, elle là, tout ça, elle les a fait elle-même. C'est la même personne. Elle a dit que son but c'était d'avoir comme un de chaque personnage. So she's working on it. Tuxedo quand même!
Est-ce que tu continues à te filmer?
And what about it? And what? My mom was like, when are you ever gonna stop being obsessed with Sailor Moon? And I said, when I stop breathing. So, exactly. Yo, Sailor Moon dans ce issue, ça aurait été archi fou. Oh mon Dieu, il y avait assez de wing submissions pour faire une page. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's showtime. Ducky, ducky, ça c'était now. Le gazebo. Le gazebo. Yo, rip. It's Annie! It's Annie T Designs! Oh my gosh, she's your friends in this. It's so cool. La première fille qui m'avait dit, oh, Fazili, you should do this. Elle aussi, elle est dans le magazine. Oui. Et là, maintenant, ils m'ont dit encore mi-octobre, ils m'avaient dit, ok, you got selected, on va t'envoyer les photos une fois que c'est de ta page, une fois que, comme un à 2 jours après le release sur nos pages réseaux sociaux.
On n'a pas de choix. Bon, on va arrêter de dire ça souvent, mais c'est la vérité. Tout le monde est en train de travailler dans l'inclusion là.
Je te dis.
Tout le monde.
Mais l'importance avec l'inclusion, c'est pas juste d'ouvrir des portes, tu vois. Let me tell you, let me give you un petit... puisque je suis ici pour te divertir, tu vois, l'inclusion. Le problème avec l'inclusion, c'est que les gens veulent ouvrir des portes, mais après, ils s'arrangent pas pour que la maison soit propre et ordonnée, pour que les gens soient confortables pour rester dans la maison. So, you know, I come to see you. Il y a de la poubelle partout sur le plancher. La vaisselle est en train de s'empiler. Tu penses que je vais rester dans une maison chaotique comme ça? Non. Non, regarde. Les petites poussières là. Moi, je parle pas des petites poussières. Moi, je parle vraiment comme... What am I mom doing the most? Ça, c'est une chose que les gens ont du mal à comprendre. C'est que comme inclusion is not just about opening doors. Tu sais là, comme Hoarder Buried Alive là, tu vois pas de problème, mais quand les gens viennent de l'extérieur puis ils disent qu'il y a un problème puis tu veux pas l'admettre qu'il y a un problème. Tu vois ce que je veux dire? You know?
I know.
Moi, je pensais que j'allais avoir un carré. Je pensais que j'allais avoir un quart de page là. Je pensais pas que j'allais avoir un 2-page spread. Et en plus, ils ont mis mon nom.
Oui.
Ça, c'était un choix personnel. Beaucoup de gens choisissent soit mettre leur nom sur les réseaux sociaux, tu vois. Leur nom online or like their own actual name. Me, I put my name on everything.